Economics, chapter 27. Aggregate demand. So when we talk about aggregate demand, it's the total of all demands in an economy. That means all your expenditures, all the spending within an economy. That's what we call aggregate demand. Okay, so for the formula for the aggregate demand, it is your consumption plus investment plus government expenditure plus export minus imports. That's how you calculate your aggregate demand. So it's the same formula like using the GDP. So for consumption, what is consumption? I wrote this is the spending by households on goods and services. So household will spend. What do they spend on? On consumption. So the spending of household on goods and services is what we call consumption. Is it clear?
Yes.
Investment, the spending of firms on investment goods is what we call investment. Government spending, this includes current spending by government. That means whatever government have to spend in terms of the projects they do, the benefits they give to the society, whatever it is, that's government spending. Is it clear? Exports and imports. Yeah, I wrote foreigners spend money on goods produced in the domestic economy. So when we talk about export implies goods that are sold to foreign customers. That's export. And imports are goods that are bought from foreign businesses. Is it clear? So your net export is export minus imports. Is it clear?
Yes.
So go to the aggregate demand curve. It shows the relationship between the price level and the level of real expenditure in the economy. So if there's a rise in the price level, then the aggregate demand curve will shift. Now, we're talking about the price here. It will cause a movement in the aggregate demand curve. In the aggregate demand curve, movement when it is price. But other factors aside price will shift the aggregate supply. Are you with me?
Yes.
So I wrote here, a rise in the price level from P1 to P2 will lead to a fall in the equilibrium level of the national income and the national output. So if the price level rises in an economy, what happens to aggregate demand? The aggregate demand will fall in terms of consumption, which means the national income will fall. Do you understand? So an increase from P1 to P2 will reduce the output and also reduce the national income from Y1 to Y2. Is it clear?
Yes.
Effects of higher prices on different components of expenditure. So when prices increases, how does it affect the components of expenditure like consumption, investment, government spending, export and import? So let's start with consumption. So when prices increases, what happens to consumption? Consumption will fall because the spending power of household will reduce. Are you with me?
Yes.
So when prices increases, consumer needs more money to buy the same number of goods and services as before. So if prices increase, that means you need more money to be able to buy the same quantity you used to buy. Or you buy less. That means your spending power reduces. So investments. The higher the price, the lower the investment will be in an economy. So when prices increases, firms would not be able to buy equipment that they will need for expansion. So that means when prices of goods and services increases, investment will also reduce in the economy. Is it clear?
Yes.
Government spending. This might need to be decided by the government. These are political decisions. So it's government that decides either to spend or not. Do you understand?
Yes.
Export and imports. A higher price level in an economy means that foreign firms will be able to compete more successfully. So if the price rises in an economy, it means that as a business, you'll be able to buy, you'll be able to sell, to import more. Because at that point in time, the exchange rate of your economy has appreciated. So if the exchange rate of an economy appreciates, it means that currency will buy more of foreign products. So imports will increase. At that point in time, exports will fall. And if the country's currency depreciates, it makes the country to become more internationally competitive because foreign customers will be able to buy more of your products. Is it clear?
Yes.
Now we go to the shift in aggregate demand curve. We've talked about movements now. So what are the shifts in aggregate demand curve? This occurs if there's a change in other relevant variable apart from the price level. So when there's a change in consumption, there's a change in investment, there's a change in import and exports. This will cause a shift in the aggregate demand curve. If it is price level, it will cause movement in the aggregate demand curve. I think it's clear.
Yes.
So an increase in consumption level will shift the aggregate demand curve from AD1 to AD2 because the income level has increased. The consumption has increased in an economy. That means the aggregate demand will increase in the economy. So from AD1 to AD2. Investment. If an increase in investment will be as a result of maybe the confidence level of firms that they believe that the economy is getting better, that their product will be bought and their product will be bought, so they can increase investment. And if they increase the investment, aggregate demand will shift forward from AD1 to AD2. Government spending. A rise in government spending with no change in taxation will lead to a fall in budget surplus or a rise in its deficit, leading to an increase in aggregate demand, pushing the AD curve to the right from AD1 to AD2. If government increases spending without increasing taxation, it will lead to budget deficit for government because government would have spent more. Do you understand? But it also helps the aggregate demand to move rightward from AD1 to AD2. Is it clear? And for export and import, I explained already, a rise in exchange rates might likely increase imports and minus a rise in exchange rate. When there's a rise in the exchange rate, it means you can buy more from foreign businesses. Then foreign customers will buy less from you because your prices has increased. So when your net, what will happen to your net export? Your net export, which is export minus import, will increase. No, your net export, which is export minus import, will make your import to increase. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Leading to what? A shift in the aggregate demand curve to leftward. Because there's going to be deficit. You buy more than what you sell, which is not good for the economy. Is it clear?
Yes.
Any question about that?
No.
So that's about aggregate